We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Offbeat and Unfiltered. I am your boy, Louis D, and we are live at Carver Park. And today we have write-in candidate Carlos Adams. How's it going, man?
Good, bro.
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good to have you back. So today you have something to share with us, a little more information.
Yeah. So, I'm
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little different than the other candidates. I actually composed a plan for the city, and this plan was built on community input, research, going to the council meetings, speaking to council members, ex-council members, the elder community, the youth. So it's a community plan that I built based on all my interactions. So I'm very excited to share it.
And this is called the Yuma First Plan for Yuma.
Yes.
The first 100 days, right?
Yes. So my plan touches on 3 points. The first 100 days, the 7 promises I make in the first 100 days being mayor, the 7 promises I make in the 12 months being mayor, and then it goes into the full 4-year term, which is still under development.
So what would be the first, let's say, 10 days?
Well, let me
what would be the first 10 days? Like, okay, you got elected, you're Yuma Mayor. Your first 10 days, would you still be soaking that in? I mean, what's the plan for the first 10 days?
I'm not really sure what the first 10 days would do, but what I can tell you, the first thing I'm doing is going to be an audit. We have to audit every department, every project, every building. I don't even know how to phrase this, but we have to audit everything. The reason why we have to do an audit is to see what's working, what's not working, what's wasteful spending, and we can use the audit to kind of see what direction the city needs to go to based on what's working and what's not working. So
that's the first 10 days would be the audit.
Well, I don't know if we can make an audit in 10 days, but yes, we're going to audit every commission, every aspect that the city, for example, when you buy anything here in Yuma, right, groceries, there's always a little tax attached to it, the city tax. That money gets used by the city. So we're going to audit every single dollar that goes through the tax system to see how it's being used to benefit the community and the citizens. So we're going to audit everything.
So the first thing is audit.
Everything.
Okay.
Everything.
After the audit would be?
After the audit, we're going to do, well, there's a lot of different things we're going to be doing in the first 100 days. One of the things I want to touch on, which I think will be really cool for the community as a whole, is we have to do a parks and spaces review, which means a full community input.
Right.
And we gather a census within 100 days of what's the most requested thing for per park and what's the least requested. And then we tackle the most going down the list. And I think that would be a great community input because there's a lot of parks that have been waiting for the proper attention, and a lot of communities feel that their parks have been ignored. So this would be a perfect way to see how we start tackling the parks from each park's most reported issue.
So would it be more of a park development, getting a?
Well, it will go through the right. Parks and Recs Commission.
Parks and Recs, right? Yeah.
They're the ones that are in charge because you gotta understand when you're the mayor of a city, you work with 6 council members, and then you have all these commissions that are part of the whole system. But what I want to do here is I want to involve the community to have a voice and share and document what they prioritize so that the Parks and Recs department can rethink their plans, because there's a lot of things that are being overlooked that the community has been asking for, and that way we can actually see what the community is asking for more as opposed to the Parks and Recs deciding for the community. That's another one.
Okay, that's good. I mean, because the parks, Yuma's a pretty athletic town, and they go out and about, and a lot of softball and baseball.
Well, the parks and the community spaces, they actually contribute. They contribute to the community, because when you look into the quality of life of every resident, parks are on the top of the list. They actually improve the quality of life because
They do.
the more parks we have, the more things that the community can actually come out and enjoy.
And having some of that equipment too would be nice.
Yes, yes. I
Because
mean,
a lot of people can't afford to go to the gym, or they don't really have time to go to the gym, and
yeah, you're
some of
right.
it's like Kofa had, or what's called Smuckers, right?
Mhm.
They had a little stations here and there. They didn't have a full, but they had a few self weight, body weight
The ones that
machines,
are, that
right?
are fan favorite are the pull-up bars.
Pull-up bars, you can't go wrong with pull-ups, man.
Yep.
But yeah, some of that equipment would be nice. Um, for people to go out and get fit, do some exercise, be a healthy community.
Of course. So another part of this plan in the first 100 days is we're gonna release the public dashboard. This public dashboard is designed to show everyone in the community what projects we're actually working on currently, and it will break it down into estimated cost,
Mhm.
how many jobs it will create, um, who's benefiting, who's funding, if we're using grants, either state or national. It's a dashboard for every city project, so that the common residents like ourselves right now, we can look into it, and we kind of have an idea of what direction the city is going into and how the city is investing our money. So I think a public dashboard is something that we don't have now. And honestly, for a lot of things you want to know, you have to do a public records request. This dashboard will make it more universal for people to have access, quick access, by the way, to see what the city is doing with their tax dollars. What do you think about that
Excuse
one?
me. That's good because you have been speaking about transparency and
Yes.
see where the money's going to, the taxpayers' money, and we do want to know where that info is at, and you being able to provide that info for us would be good for the community because hey, this is where your money's being spent at, and we can see it. Why? Because hey, look, the park's looking this way, the roads are looking this way. There's more little programs opening up here and there for the community.
Yeah, yeah, and
And it's all on your dashboard, and that's good information for the citizens.
of course, of course. I just want to clarify this: the dashboard will be through the city, but I would be a big advocate to have this dashboard pushed so that everyone can enjoy it. Can enjoy. Well, some people may not be for some projects, but point is, everyone can enjoy the luxury of being able to look up what the
And
city
it
is
would be
doing
updated with
live in lifetime.
with the full
Yeah.
plan.
Even if the project goes over budget, we're gonna list how much went over budget, how much time it went over estimated time of completion. It's a full dashboard to give everyone insights on every project the city of Yuma is working on.
That's good for
It's
like
good
I
for
said, for
transparency,
transparency. Yeah.
and I believe this is what I believe, that once we have transparency fully established, that the city will do a lot greater job, a greater job in making sure that every decision we make is for the benefit of the community. Because right now, and to be honest with you, even sitting council members are having issues following what the city is really doing. There's so many questions, not only for us, the community, but the city council themselves don't have the full answers. So this dashboard will make sure that everyone is on the same line. It's very needed
Yeah, it is.
for
It is very needed.
transparency. Another thing I want to do in the first 100 days is we have to tackle one of the biggest issues in Yuma, which is economic prosperity, which means our economic development,
Yes.
which means our economy here is not doing so well. It's been stagnant for many years now. So one thing I'm proposing is, we get the Chamber of Commerce, along with small business leaders and a lot of the youth to come together, and we're gonna do kind of like, how would you say it, like open hearing meetings, right, for the public.
Yes.
And we're going to identify what barriers exist here in Yuma that are stopping our small business and economic prosperity from growing. We have to identify the barriers. So within the first 100 days, once we identify barriers, then we can plan for the first year, year 2, year 3, and year 4, our goals. That's another thing I really want to
And
push
for small business, the
Yeah.
small business loans and all that, right? Or the grants.
SBAs.
Yes, SBAs.
Exactly.
Because that would bring more
More economic.
employment, more
Yeah.
economic for Yuma, right?
So another thing I want to touch on that, back to what you're saying, is there's a lot of grants on the state and federal level that can be pursued. We just have to identify them, which now goes into my 100 days as well. So another thing I want to do in the first 100 days is I want to have an inventory of all the state and federal grants that are available to Yuma, so we can have a clear path of which grants we're going for and for what purposes. Clear picture for everything.
Okay, that's good. Have a
Another
clear
one.
picture. Yeah, definitely.
And just to top it off, we're going to do a public benefit review. The public benefit review is we're going to review every project coming to Yuma, and the whole purpose of this review is to see if Yuma's tax dollars invested into that project will benefit the community. That's all. During that public review, we're going to see studies and environmental studies, how many jobs it's estimated to create. So it's kind of like a full overview of projects before we jump into them, which is something that currently in Yuma we're missing. For example, we'll use the spaceport as an example.
Open to the community to go in and hear about see if it benefits the community, get opinions from them.
Exactly. Opinions from the community, opinions from their experts from the studies and from the city council ourselves to kind of see if it benefits the community. Because we got to understand one thing. We have to be economically safe. We can't risk too much and we have to be efficient. So if a project doesn't pass our review, which is securing the safety and security for citizens and establishing economic prosperity, if a project does not meet those requirements, then why waste our time? We have to find things that are benefit the taxpayers over chasing projects that we have no idea if they're going to pay off in the long run. So that's all in the first 100 days.
That's the first 100 days.
The first 100 days is identifying and having the inventory of everything we have to do. And that first 100 days will give us our plan for the next 12 months.
And that's part of the...
And that's part of the Yuma First plan.
That's part of the Yuma First plan. And the budget and the audit and all that, right?
Yeah, so the first 100 days, I'm going to make 7 promises that I'm going to uphold.
Okay.
And those promises will be audits, studies, community inputs, locating grants, public reviews, having our Chamber of Commerce identify barriers. There's kind of like the first 100 days, I don't want to say a reset, but it's kind of like an overview of what we're actually doing, what's working, what's not working, and how to correct it within the next 12 months or work towards correcting it. Because some problems don't have an easy fix. Some problems will take a long time. But we can identify all that in the first 100 days. And that's what I really want to push for on my Yuma First plan.
So you get elected for mayor. The current mayor, he's been running for 12 years, right?
Yes.
Or so, right? It's around that time. What would be your ideal run? Like, how many years would he be interested in running? I mean, being the Yuma mayor.
Good question.
Because 12 years, that's a long run.
It is a long run. And I believe term limits exist for a reason. In my case, I would love to represent the community and actually give the community a voice. But I also believe that Yuma's no place for a king mentality. I think from what I believe is becoming mayor, you're with 6 other council members. And each of those council members can become a mayor as well. So for me, from my point of view, is becoming mayor, we will see who's next in line to be the mayor. Because I believe that each council member has what it takes to be the next mayor. I'll give you an example. We have Chris Morris, construction background. We have Karen Watts, health background. All these different council members, they come from different backgrounds. And they each offer, a different view that will help the community in the long run. I just believe that no one should sit on the chair for this many years, especially when the city has become stagnant. We need a new agenda and a new direction.
How long is the run for a Yuma mayor?
It's 4-year term.
4 years.
4-year term.
4 years. And you're willing to pass on the torch for the next person once your 4 years are up?
I'm willing to. I'm willing
that's
to
good.
because
That's good.
I believe if someone is coming with good intentions and a good enough plan, they should be able to take Yuma forward. Because remember, it's not about me. It's not about anyone. It's about the city
The city,
as
yes.
a whole.
The city comes 1st.
Mhm.
Yes. I don't know much about, how the board is, would you still be involved with, I mean, once you pass on the torch, you still be involved? Is there
Well,
any way you could still be involved
of course. Look at it this way. If I win this election,
Yes.
which I'm confident I have a very good chance to win this election, I would check in with Mr. Nichols. Maybe he has some feedback that I can use moving forward. Maybe there's something that puzzles me, and he's gone through it. So, I believe that every current, past, future mayor should always be able to offer that wisdom, and to the new guys coming in. So yes, I'd be involved in any other way possible. I'd be involved.
So, how has your interaction been, your current interaction been with the current Yuma mayor?
Um, Good
Do you guys
question.
still cross paths?
I haven't seen him in a while. I'm doing my thing. He's doing his
Yes.
thing. So, I actually, he reached out to me before I submitted my paperwork for write-in. He let me know. He said, "Hey, I know you're running for mayor. I would love to sit down with you and get to know you." So I did meet with him, Mr. Nichols, at the core engineering firm, and it was a little interesting. He did tell me that if I didn't run, that I can check in with him once a week. I'm not sure if he was assuming to maybe some sort of like a mentorship.
Yes.
But regardless, I let him know, like, thank you for the offer, sir, but I'm gonna run as a write-in.
That's great.
I haven't really spoken to him since then, and that was maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. I'm not sure.
That's good. Good answer. I mean, there's only two running for Yuma mayor, current and yourself, and it's getting pretty interesting, man. It's getting.
Well, let me tell you this: the current mayor has 12 years. What I've seen and what everyone in the community have seen is that the direction of the city has stagnated. What does that really mean? In more simpler terms, it means that after COVID, inflation shot up and our wages barely moved an inch,
Barely.
which means it has caused a stagnation across the city of Yuma. And the city has maintained the city fairly well. They're doing okay, but I believe that the direction when it comes to economic prosperity has failed. So, what I believe is that, can we really do another 4 years of the same, or do we need a new direction? And a lot of people in this city believe we need a new direction.
Yuma does feel like Yuma does need a new direction. From
It
what
does.
I've been hearing, from what I see around the community, and your name, bro, it's
Thank
being
you.
thrown out there a lot. You're making a lot of noise.
Doing my
Good
best.
noise, good noise, and it's getting interesting out there, man. It is.
Yeah, it really is.
How do you? I'm sorry. I was gonna say, how do you encourage people to go, if you're not registered to vote? How do you encourage people to go register to vote?
Oh, good question. So, here in Yuma, we have a big problem. And that big problem is that the community is not involved in voting.
We are in Carver. We are in the Carver area, and I did my census research a little bit. It does say it's anywhere, and this runs all the way down past Yuma High, 4th Ave, goes a little bit down to downtown. It says anywhere between 6,000 to 8,000
Registered voters?
citizens that live around the area here.
Well, one thing that I do know, based on the voting from the last election, is that only about 10 to 11% of the population here in Yuma actually register and vote, which means that a small group is controlling the majority because their voice is not being outspoken. One thing I really want to do this election is inspire people to actually vote, because their vote does matter. Like, your vote matters. All our votes matter.
Everyone's vote matters.
They do matter, right? So I made it very easy for everyone to register. It takes 2 minutes. You go to adams4yuma.org, arizona.com/vote. It redirects you to the Arizona website
Yes.
to register, and it takes 2 minutes to register. You get a voter card in the mail, and on election day, which is July 21st, you have to write my name in. We're under the mayor section.
And the last day for registration is
June 22nd
June 22nd,
is the
right?
last day
Yes.
to register. And July 21st is when the voting opens. So when you register and you're ready to vote on July 21st, you have to write my name in, Carlos Adams, for mayor.
Carlos Adams for mayor, altogether. And I'm sorry, you had something else to share. I'm sorry, before I interrupt you.
No. It slipped my mind, but it's probably not important.
No, it is an important point. But like I said, there's just around this little community, I bet you there's a big handful of people that are not registered to vote. And how are you trying to attract that small group or that big group that's not registered?
Well, that goes on to a bigger issue, because if the county recorders, who receive funding to make sure that everyone has knowledge of the elections and voting, all this, if they can't do it, who can? So what I've seen is that the only way to get more voters is through education. There's no other way. And that education is repeated. You have to keep hearing it, keep hearing it, keep hearing it. That's the only way they're going to register to vote and make a difference. But it has to be, the message must be repeated, repeated, repeated. And then after they vote, it has to still keep repeated so they don't forget. Because I'm not going to lie to you, voting isn't something that people think about.
Because one vote makes a difference. Just one vote can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and it's a city primary election, which means that this race ends in July 21st. It doesn't go to the general because there's only 2 people, myself and the current mayor.
Right. So it's going to be a lot shorter than.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot shorter. So that means that it could be decided by one person, the difference.
Exactly.
It could go down to the wire.
One vote makes a huge difference. Just the one vote. So if you're not registered to vote, go out there, register. It takes 2 minutes.
AdamsForYuma.com/vote.
Write in candidate Carlos Adams for Yuma Mayor. And another thing that I've been hearing a lot out here in the community is safety. What's your plan for safety?
So what I've seen is that the city of Yuma has grown significantly. There's, 6 figures now. We're hitting the 6 figures, and our police department is understaffed. There's a lot of reasons why that contribute towards why it's understaffed. But what we need in this city is to figure out how we can retain police while hiring new police officers to maintain more public safety. But that alone is also goes into bigger issues, but it is possible. It all depends on the city agenda and how we prioritize what's important to us.
We are, like I said, we are in the Carver area, and down in the corner by the baseball field, they recently put like a generator with the camera. I don't know if you noticed that.
Is it a flock camera?
To be honest, it looks like a big generator. It says the YPD on it. Big pole on top. There's a camera. I guess there's a 360 view of all the park.
Oh wow! It's over there.
Yeah, it's yeah, that corner right there. You see where the cones are at?
Yeah.
Yeah, that corner over there.
We'll go look at it later. I haven't seen it.
Do you think that would be a good way of providing safety for the community?
Well, that one is interesting because
That's the first time I see one of those here.
Because we gotta remember this. Yes, it can help. It's like having a security camera at a store.
Right.
But we also gotta remember that we're in public spaces, and I feel like they might invade privacy as well. I just don't know. I gotta look at the camera and figure it out. But point is yes, it is a security measure for safety. Yes, you can look at it that way. But there's been a lot of,
It doesn't. I feel like it does invade a little bit of the citizens' privacy. it's like right in the middle, huh? It does provide safety, but then again, it's like
Yeah, well, you know, I, I believe that the less government that governs people's lives, the better, in my opinion.
yeah.
But yet again, government is needed in a lot of different sectors. So it's always like a balance.
I think just general patrolling would be just general common patrolling that like a YPD does, like, but a little more patrolling around the hot areas.
Yeah, for sure. Because we have to look at our numbers and see what is the priority here. If it's the areas where the crime is happening, or is it the areas by the shopping mall? You know, we gotta really look into our priorities.
And one more thing, anything you would like to develop for the youth?
Yes. So the youth in this city is what needs the most support.
Yes.
I'll tell you why. And
My father of three.
yes, and I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but over a decade ago, the city of Yuma, the median age here was 60 plus, retired. Now, in 2026, the median in this city is mid 30s, which means everyone in our age group is now the majority here. What does that mean? That means we have kids, we have responsibilities, and we don't have opportunity in this city. So, opportunity in the city is something that we have to aggressively pursue, because without economic prosperity, we're going to become the next Calexico, which is a city that has
Yes.
completely lost its economic development. Completely.
I used to go there at least every Sunday to
Yeah.
the swap meet, which closed down because it burnt and they never opened it up after COVID and all that. But there's that little downtown area where they have all the stores,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stores that closed down. I mean, every spot used to be filled. Now it's only like a handful of stores.
I know.
The
I
ones
see.
right across the border, and
I think all the money that they make now is just off parking meters.
yes, parking meters.
The
Which
parking meters. You got a ticket
I
for
got a
it?
fine from the time, dude. And the time when so I thought it was gonna charge me like, okay, so the meter's gonna keep running and it's gonna keep charging me from my debit card. Oh no, man! I got it for 2 hours, and right at the 2 hour mark, bam!
Ticket.
I got a little sticker on there on my
Oh,
car.
yeah, probably fishing.
25
for you.
bucks.
Well, yeah. Going back to the youth, we gotta remember the youth is the future, because at one point we were the youth here,
Yes.
and I'm talking about.
And I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, nice. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. That we were the youth at one point, and we're still looking for opportunity in the city. And I imagine our new youth generations. We have a whole class graduating this summer. What are they gonna do? AWC is just more schooling, but it doesn't really put you into money making agendas, which is what we need in this economy with the inflation, with the wages we have. We have to generate. So it just becomes hard on everyday families with all these burdens stacking on top of everyone without opportunity.
More encouragement for the high school graduates to join the entrepreneurship program at the AWC.
Oh, of course. There's a lot of programs, a lot of this and that, but to really tackle the root of this problem, it takes the city's agenda. The city agenda, once, which is something I propose, once we're able to get everyone on board, all the council members, all the departments, this is the new goal, to create opportunity and make this economy have prosperity. Once we can gear up the city of Yuma to devote all our resources to bring opportunity to this city, I think that would be how we solve it. But we have to make it our number one priority, because that's what we're lacking here in Yuma. We're a stagnant city, and the current direction of the city maybe worked 12 years ago, but it's not working today.
Also, the education plan too, as well, for the
Yeah, well, when it comes
education plan. I feel like it has been not as strong as when we were in high school. Now the kids get an easier pass. I believe they get an easier pass nowadays.
maybe.
In high school, we had that test. What is it called?
SATs?
Yeah, that we had. No, the other one. It's that one test that they scared us. If you don't pass this test, you're not gonna graduate.
I don't remember what it
Well,
was called.
that one test, that big test for high school. But now it's easy. It's easy. It's easier for kids to get that pass.
Let's touch on the education real quick.
Yeah.
So we have a school board, and they're the ones that direct education. But as the city, we can't directly act on them, but we can influence. And one thing we can do with education, because there's different types of education. You know, there's numbers, there's English, there's history, but there's also real life education, which means workforce training, apprenticeship training, to prepare our youth for career pathways that would lead them into a guaranteed job down the line. So, again,
and learning a trade,
becoming a plumber,
learning a trade,
an electrician.
Yes, because getting that big loan to be, we all need doctors, we all need lawyers, but you have that huge loan that you're going to be paying off for,
Yeah, it depends how successful you become.
How long that,
but yes, law school, like you said, becoming a doctor, those are long-term career paths that do cost money in education. But
learning trades, I feel that moves the community a little faster and a little
yes,
better.
Learning trades are.
I feel like it's easier for if you learn a trade, plumber,
yeah,
HVAC, all that stuff. It's
even gardening is rewarding. There's a lot of things that we can do that don't require us to invest six figures in education. But yet again, it depends on everyone's passion. But as the city, our mission is to make sure that our city succeeds. So if we can offer those type of things like workforce training, apprenticeship, career pathways,
great,
to have our youth pursue different lines of work, that will create the opportunity that the city needs.
Exactly. Yes.
There's more to that equation, because we also have to figure out how we can attract outside dollars into this city. I do feel our tourism department could do a lot better, by the way. Everyone just talks about the territorial prison. Like, that's what we got. No, we have more here in Yuma.
We do have a lot more, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got more here in Yuma, and I feel, and this is what I've seen, because we have to look into other cities to see what's worked for them and what hasn't worked for them. What I've seen is there's been a big push when it comes into weekend traveling. But that weekend traveling is like, for example, ATVs, dirt bikes.
We have the dunes right in the middle, right? Yes.
Yeah, but the dunes isn't. You can't say the dunes is producing money for Yuma.
Right.
I feel like Yuma has enough natural assets to create our own types of fun activities where people can come bring their ATVs here, and every weekend the city could create jobs for the youth. Attending these guys coming out. It's just an idea, but there's so much we can do with this city for tourism that is not being explored. We also have the river, the Colorado River.
Land. There's so much land out here. And the river.
We have the river, and that's a huge asset. To kind of like promote people to come explore the river. Maybe they want to bring a boat. We have natural assets in this city.
We do have is really popular. The hiking area over there by Foothills. What's it called?
Yeah. I mean,
the hiking. Yeah.
We have trails. We have a lot of things, but we have to find a way.
Telegraph.
Yes, but we have to find a way to make sure that tourism sees the value in Yuma, so they can come here and spend their economic dollars this way to kind of uplift the community. Because what happens here in Yuma, and the reason why we're stagnant, and I'll give you a quick example. If I give you $10 for a service, you give someone else $10 for a service, and they give me $10 for a service, the money just recycled. We need new money coming in, and that's how we achieve economic prosperity. So, again, the current leadership of Yuma has done well maintaining us afloat, but keeping the lights on is not the same as getting things done. And that's something we're going to change.
I agree. Well, that's a really good, Yuma plan for the first 100 days.
Yeah, I got more, but it would take us hours to go over.
Yes.
I got 48
it's a
pages.
big plan, and
yeah,
that's just
the summary
a rough summary, you know, of the
of
first
the first
100
100
days and the first 10 days and what you're really focusing on for the community. And it's very informative, man. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
was, it
Thank
was
you,
really,
Jose.
it was a really good episode, good podcast today. I'm sure the community out there got well informed. And again, guys, write-in candidate Carlos Adams for Yuma Mayor. Don't forget, June 22nd, right?
June 22nd is the
It's
deadline
the deadline.
to register your vote. I made it very easy. adamsforyuma.com/vote. And as Jose mentioned, on July 21st, on the ballot, you have to write my name. You have to put Carlos Adams and submit the vote.
Write it in. Like you
Yes.
actually have to write it in. Carlos Adams. Okay, guys, for Yuma Mayor. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you for having us and informing the community again. And I feel like it's time for the torch to be passed on and see a new direction.
I think it's time for a new direction as well.
All
We
right,
have a
man.
new era
Thank
of
you.
Yuma.
Thank you. And all of us, we're with you. Wish you best of luck and let's get it.
Thank you, sir.
Later, guys. Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, follow, and share. Guys, have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.